Okay, dear lecturers, dear followers, thank you very much for the first webinar from the Macedonian Chapter of European Association of Scientific Editors. I hope we will continue to cooperate more often in the future, and we will be more efficient. For today, we decided to use Open Access Week as a, how to say it, as a subject to discuss, because open access for scientific publications is one of the most important issues, not only that. We prepared a program, and I hope we will present to you some of the different aspects from this field. I will talk a little bit more in my presentation, several slides for our Macedonian chapter, but now I will give a floor to the Mary to explain about the European Association of Scientific Editors and to start the program. Mary, the floor is yours.
Many thanks, Professor Spiroski. That's lovely. Thank you for welcoming me so much today. So I just have a few slides. Let me just quickly share my screen for you. So just a quick rundown for a little bit from EASE. So thank you for attending the first event today of the Macedonian Regional Chapter. We've got a full programme for you, but I'm just going to give you a little introduction to EASE. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mary Hodgson. I'm the Secretary of EASE, so I'm one of two employees. So my colleague Lucy is also employed, and we just work part-time for EASE. So anything you need to know sort of on an administrative front, I'm the person to come to. So a big welcome to everybody. Just a quick look at EASE. So EASE it stands for the European Association of Science Editors, though these days we're an international community of editors from diverse background, linguistic traditions, professional expertise, and we really welcome people from all around the world and in all related disciplines to the scholarly and scientific publishing industry. And then we have our mission, which is to improve the global standards and quality of science editing, to promote the value of science editors and support professional development. So all of our activities revolve around these themes. So established in 1982, we have 650 members from 50 odd countries. We've got 13 regional chapters, of which the North Macedonian chapter is the most recent. 27 groups in membership, and we're run by a council, and one of our council members, Jadranka Stojanovski, is here with us today. And then we have various special interest groups and role groups. Okay, so we have live and hybrid events, such as we're doing today. We've got courses and training. We do loads of guidelines, tools and resources, and sort of things that will help you do some self-guided learning, as well as our live events and things that we do online. And we've got obviously our communities and our social media. And as a member of EASE, you're able to contribute to many of these, and it's really nice to get people involved. So perhaps some of you will have seen already our journal, European Science Editing. So this is a Diamond Open Access journal. It has a small editorial team, and we publish between 20 and 25 articles per annum. So the journal is indexed in Scopus, in EBSCO Dimensions and the DOAJ, and we are currently in the process of applying for Web of Science indexing. So this is really exciting. We're hoping we sort of passed the first stage, and we're waiting to hear what happens. So we're always looking for papers of original research or reviews or commentary. So if you have anything in the pipeline, then please consider European Science Editing for your paper. Okay, so as I said, we do a number of webinars and events. So these are just a few of the examples. We do some centrally, about 8 per year that we do centrally, and then all our regional chapters also offer lots of events which are open to everybody. So that's all a really nice thing that you can promote to your people for free. Our courses and training, we've just finished our EASE editorial school. So this is targeted for journal editors. So we've just done that course in the last month, and in September we did our EASE school for manuscript editors and academic authors. So we generally do about 3 or 4 courses, these bigger courses per year. So you can hook into that, and we've got a macro workshop happening in the new year, which is also going to be happening, I think, in February. So our resource library is an extensive sort of resource library filled with publications from EASE, from ourselves, things that we've created ourselves, but also a lot of material from trusted third parties. So as members, if you go onto the resource library, you'll be able to see lots of different material. And at the moment, we're currently expanding this resource library into a bigger learning hub, and this will bring together all those resources, our courses, our videos, our conference proceedings and articles, all in sort of one accessible place. So that's a project that we're working on at the moment. Okay, so as far as participation is concerned, as I've explained, we have a network of regional chapters which support local scientific editing and publishing communities and provide local interactions, such as we're doing today. Each chapter runs a program of activities and organizes events and so on, writes new guidelines, translates these materials, produces new publications. And in 2023, EASE Turkey hosted the conference in Istanbul. And in 2025, the conference will be hosted by the Nordic chapter in Oslo in Norway. So that's really exciting to have the chapters involved in this way. There's our chapter network. And then we have 4 role groups, which are sort of geared around the roles that people have within the industry. And we really appreciate that people are often in more than one role. So we have a role group for authors and researchers, one for manuscript editors, one for editors, like journal editors and editorial office staff and editorial advisory boards, and then one for peer reviewers. So often people are in more than one group, but that's the way our sort of content is organized. So then just a quick word about conferences. So we have a biannual conference, so every other year. And as I say, the next one will be held in 2025 in Oslo. They're in a hybrid format. They're 3 days. We have 30 or more international speakers. We have a poster competition, and there's loads of ways for you to get involved. So I hope that we will be welcoming at least some of you to our conference next year. But then in the years in between, when we don't have a conference, we normally have another single day kind of event, which this year is our autumn symposium. And this will be a full day's program, again, geared around those role groups. And we have an added sort of additional early morning session with an Asian perspective that is being done by our EASE Vietnam and EASE Korea partners. So that starts early in the morning so that it's in the middle of their day. And booking is open, and I was pleased to tell you that we've been able to arrange through our sponsors, the generosity of our sponsors, for those in LMIC countries, which includes North Macedonia, to have sponsored places so that you can attend for free. So registration is open, and I will pop that detail in the chat. So there we are. There's a quick run round of how it is to be EASE. I know several of you are already members, a number of you are already members. So hopefully you've been able to access all of these resources by logging into your EASE profile and making sure that you get all of your right content and discounts and so on. So it's great to have you on board. So many thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. I hope we learned key paths for the association, but we will be in touch because there are so many other aspects which we use in the future.
So our first presentation this afternoon is going to be from Professor Jadranka Stojanovski. Jadranka is a member of EASE Council, and she is very experienced in open access. So I'm going to leave her to introduce herself in more detail, but very big welcome to you, Jadranka. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Can you see my screen?
Yes, everything is good.
Yes, yes. So thank you, Professor Spiroski, for invitation to this somehow very important meeting for Macedonian community related to scholarly publishing. So I will speak shortly about how journal and publisher can improve visibility of scholarly journals they are publishing. And although according to the numerous studies, there is obvious correlation between open access and citation rates, just making journal open access, it's somehow not enough. And we need to invest more as editors, as publishers, in communication and marketing, and make our content more visible to broad range, using broad range of channels. Specifically, it's only not enough that our content is known to the scholarly community in our country and abroad, but also to the public in order to gain legitimacy, advance knowledge, promote positive attitudes, and what is nowadays very important, increase engagement of the public in research. So still, we should never underestimate the power of being open access. And I'm sharing 3 examples here. 2 are from Serbia, showing how content published even in Cyrillic letter and even can look as a very locally relevant, it still can become popular and visible among a global community. The second example is showing how the paper from local poorly ranked journal, which was available only in print at the time of publishing, but later it was deposited in the institutional repository and gained significant attention. So, and this right picture, you can see really impressive statistics I drew out yesterday from our Hrčak portal of open access, Croatian open access journal, where you can see that journals and journal content. So this third column is representing a number of downloads. So the most popular Croatian journals are have 5 million, almost 5 million only full text downloads. So it's really contributing to their visibility and citability. Still, we can, even if we just put a journal in open access, we can still enhance this openness by, for example, adding different formats of our article. Usually we are sharing only PDFs, but we can add also HTML formats or XML formats to improve interoperability and exchange of information among the web space and internet space. So visibility can be also increased by publishing additional materials like data sets, software, protocols, methodologies, which will really proving that we are a serious journal, that we are offering all relevant information for verification and replication, and this can improve our visibility significantly. So clearly licensing statements are very important, because licensing is showing users how they can legally share and reuse the content. So if we are using Creative Commons licenses, that will be, to all users, it will be clear what they are allowed to do, and could they share this content among their networks, or it is in which way they can use published content. And also we should encourage authors to deposit preprints, and also to deposit published content in their institutional multidisciplinary or subject-specific repositories. There is a great power in this encouragement of authors and also reviewers to share the published content. Transparency of editorial policies is important for gaining more visibility. It should be clear what is the long-term purpose of a journal. Aims and scope should be clearly defined. What are we publishing? For whom we are publishing this? And of course, specific editorial policy like peer review, this description of the peer review process, policy on publishing ethics, and of course, author and reviewer guidelines. We should register our journal in different indexes, library catalogs, discovery tools, and aggregators. And we, for example, journals in Croatia are exclusively focused on Scopus and Web of Science core collection, but there are so many other opportunities which will contribute to the visibility of and discoverability of our content. So before submitting our journal to some multidisciplinary indexing service, we can maybe consider, is there any disciplinary relevant database or service which is fitting good the journal subject matter. Establishing partnership with libraries, it's also very good because inclusion of journal in library catalog and discovery service can be beneficial. And we could engage with different content aggregators, archives, and databases. I use this categorization by, it is actually done in France, where they categorize different indexes, library catalog, into catalog indexes based on access type. For example, Directory of Open Access Journal, it's very important for Macedonian journals to be included in. And here are bibliometric databases like Scopus and Web of Science. Search engines, we should never forget the power of search engines, and some indexes which are fed by other journals, and of course, open archives. There is a big power in infrastructure we are using. So we are really advocating that for managing editorial process and for storing your published content, you use open source infrastructure. And I'm really glad to see that open journal system is very popular in Macedonia, and it's heavily used by journal editors. What we need to take care when we are speaking about infrastructure is that this infrastructure should enable interoperability, at least at the level of Open Archives Initiative protocol for metadata harvesting, which is really widely used standard. What is on our side as journal editors, it's to adhere to globally accepted metadata standards, which will ensure compatibility with other systems, and good information exchange. Speaking about open journal system, you can see on this slide, which is actually created by our colleague Šefčovič Milica, how just using open journal system, it's powerful because you don't need to take care about metadata delivery. It's done automatically via OAI PMH protocol. The content is shared among very popular and very big services, and it's really easy to exchange metadata, machine readable metadata with bibliographic system, referencing system like Mendeley, Zotero. And for Google Scholar, it's easy to web scrape the content you are creating. Speaking about infrastructure, we shouldn't neglect the importance of metadata quality because it's really crucial for interoperability to have complete and accurate metadata. And if you don't use persistent identifiers at the moment, you should really consider this, to introduce this in the future, and to in different editorial workflows to implement persistent identifiers like digital object identifier, ORCID, ISNI, ROR, and FundRef. So the first one is for articles and data sets and other content. ORCID is for recognizing uniquely authors, and ISNI and ROR as for institutions, affiliations in the case of journals, and FundRef for funders. Search engine optimization, I will not, you already know that it's really important that we are using specific keywords, that journal website needs to be well structured, and that content should be regularly updated. And of course, if we don't have enough knowledge about search engine optimization, we have always colleagues which could help us to improve our website to be more optimized. And I will end with marketing and communication, because this is really crucial. And I didn't split this according to different stakeholders group, which could be important because the shortage of the time, but we should have in mind that each stakeholder can contribute uniquely to enhancing the reach of journal content. We can organize marketing campaigns through social media. We could be present at relevant scholarly conferences and promote our journal and the content we are publishing. We can be more serious and send regular newsletter featuring new articles, editor picks, and upcoming journal event. And our curated list of subscribers will help us to do this. Highlighting special issues, high-impact articles, it's also very important. In this sense, we can even maintain a blog or website to do this, to highlight new publications, summarize some key findings. We shouldn't neglect the power of journalists and public presses and distributing press releases about very important studies which are published in our journal can reach really much broader audience, especially audience coming from the community, not just scholarly maybe oriented, but from the community surrounding the journal. And of course, we should ensure that we are present on social media and utilizing platforms like X, LinkedIn, Mastodon, Facebook, wherever our users and our potential readers are present. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Jadranka. That was great. Professor Spiroski, do you want to introduce Valentina?
Yes, Valentina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor Spiroski. Hello to all participants, member of our academic society, Macedonian Academic Society, and scientific journals editors. There are big number of them are here of this session today. Let me to explain a few words about related to the open access activities at our university level, Cyril and Methodius University level, or with acronym, I will use acronym UKIM. We have open science policy. A few words I will explain about that. Also about our membership in two main organizations related to the open access at the European level, and about open access activity related to the scientific publishing and research infrastructure. At first, UKIM has open science policy more than almost 3 years. The main objectives for the adaptation of the open science by our university is the international visibility. It was, how to say, serious. We like for us, our university, to be a serious partner in research activities and project regionally and on pan-European level. UKIM Open Science Policy is a way to proclaim progress in science and the diffusion of knowledge for the benefits of society through the adaptation of various open, accessible, interoperable, reproducible, and responsible research practices, and we have all these ideas related to noted in our strategic documents at the university level. It is a step toward to remove the barriers of sharing any kind of research results in direction of improving the international visibility and how to say, the presenting of the university as a qualified partners in research project and research area. Our open science policy is based of 8 pillars of European open science policies. It means fair data research integrity, open access, open data, licensing, metadata, and research infrastructure, and also next generation of metrics. Related to the membership, our university is active member in two main European groups, European Open Science Cloud and Open Air. And more about this activity will explain my colleague Sonja Filiposka. Let me to give a few information related to the scientific publishing at UKIM. We have university repository as a collection of scientific papers and creative works, and also we have publishing services of digital libraries as academic and scientific publishing. The scientific publishing is based on the scientific research activity of all university units that cover all scientific areas, because we are comprehensive university, and thus to develop a diverse publishing program. Related to the scientific publishing, it includes 45 scientific journals and over the 200 papers published in that journals annually, where at the moment about 30 journals are in digital format with open access diamond model, and the rest are in printed version. UKIM advocates that all scientific journals be digitalized and with open access. We think that that will make an important contribution to the visibility of the university as a key academic institution in the country. For that reason, there is developed UKIM journal portal at the OGS platform. You can see the picture print screen of that portal, where at the moment are 15 journals with the intention to collect all digital journals from UKIM units. Related to the open access connected to the research infrastructure, I can say a few words. According to the roadmap for open access to research infrastructure prepared by Research Collaboration Council at the Western Balkans level, with regards to the public universities in the country, capital research equipment is mainly located in the Cyril and Methodius University in Skopje, and as a university with 23 faculties and 5 research institutes. It is equipped with more than 400 research laboratories. And majority of the research laboratories do not have an official access policy. However, they clearly define the internal procedure for assigning research equipment and facilities. And most institutions have open access only for research staff, internal research staff, where external users are required special permits. As a result of open access research infrastructure in the Western Balkan Support Program, implemented during 2020, the 4 research institutes from UKIM have developed access policies to research infrastructure. Intention is through new established Center for Open Science. We now establish Center for Open Science at the level of the university, and through that center we will foster access policies for all UKIM members, access policies for all research infrastructure. In order to successfully integrate into European research area, Macedonia should recognize research infrastructure as strategically important for economic development. The visibility and quality of the research infrastructure is the wider European research scope need to be further improved and connected with the knowledge society should really be enlarged. Now, more words about our membership in EOS and Open Air and responsibility on front of the country will explain my colleague Sonja Filiposka from Faculty of Informatics Science, Computer Science and Informatic Technologies. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. I hope you can see my slides. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, so we can continue. with what has been happening and is happening right now at the university in terms of open access and open science in general. So my name is Sonja Filiposka. I come from the Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering, as our Vice Rector mentioned, and I would just like to turn your attention for a little bit to what has been happening at the university regarding different activities related to open access as one of the pillars of open science. It was already mentioned that we are part of EASE, the European Open Science Cloud, which is an infrastructure that is being developed as a distributed network of services and resources that are supposed to support fair data and research for all of the researchers in Europe in order to enable them to practice open science and with this practice open access. Our university and specifically our faculty up until now has been involved in 4 different EOSC infrastructure projects, such as NIFOS Europe, where we had the pleasure to have the company of Jadranka, who has been one of the key persons in the project. Jadranka, now we miss you because the project is already finished. EOSC Future was also part of the establishment of the EOSC infrastructure, and currently we are part of 2 projects which are still developing the infrastructure and services for open science, which are called Skills for EOSC and EOSC Beyond. All of these projects have different activities which are targeting different resources and services needed for researchers to implement open science and open access. And I will tell you a little bit about some of the main activities that we already have and are planning for the future. A lot of the time we tried to develop and raise awareness about what open science is, about the impact of open access, how important it is for researchers on all levels in the society. So starting from internally inside our university, but also raising on the national level, especially via a series of episodes, which was part of the so-called Scientific Spectrum program on the national television, which was dedicated to open science. I think I have met most of you on different trainings that we already had in different disciplines of open science. So we already tried to provide trainings in topics such as open access, fair data, different types of licenses, tools, and software that you can use in order to implement open science. And we promoted in these trainings different learning portals where different information and courses are available online in order to expand your knowledge. One of the very important activities that has been happening in the previous years was the establishment of the so-called NOSCI in Macedonia. This is the National Open Science Cloud Initiative, which was which started as a group of researchers, individuals in Macedonia that are supporting open science and would like to see a national strategy for open science. And then it transformed into something bigger where all of the public universities have now joined NOSCI and are working together in order to be able to align their open science policies, to make sure that they use their resources together in order to be able to provide researchers on the national level with open science services and infrastructure in general. One of the examples is, for an example, the newly established Open Science Lab as part of our university, which is open to all of the researchers in our country that can apply with a different project that they have in mind. The only thing that the project has to align to is the open science principles, and then they will get access to different computing and data storage resources that they can use in order to implement their activities. One of the things that I would like to stress and mention here is that open access is a much more wider topic than just publications and journals. One of the hot topics right now in all of the infrastructure projects is the focus on open data, which is a bit broader concept. The idea is to be able to find any type of research output. So no matter if it's a paper or a data set or a set of software codes or a set of tools or maybe your research workflow, and also to make your own research output available to the community. For these purposes, we can use the already existing repositories, such as the institutional repository of UKIM, or the national single point to access all of the national repositories that are right now situated at different universities in Macedonia. Or if you want, you can use a domain-specific repository or a general repository in order to publish your papers, your data sets, your code, your tools. So when we are talking about open access, please keep in mind that we are talking about something wider, that it's not just the papers that need to be published, but also all of the accompanying material. Of course, you are all already aware that on the international level, we already have journals that actually publish not papers, but other types of research output. For an example, there is a special journal that publishes software code and software tools, which are provided in open access format with open licenses. Why is this important? Because all of the research output is very important for everyone. This is just a screenshot from our institutional repository, where we have a separate section on publishing datasets. And as you can see, this is a dataset that is published by some of my colleagues, for which we already have 300 downloads. So people find it interested, they want to use it in their research, they want to reproduce the conditions under which the research was done. There are, of course, many benefits of publishing papers, of publishing data sets, of publishing code, and you are very well aware of them. These are here just to remind you that for the sake of open science, it's really important to publish all of the research output. Finally, I just want to turn your attention on the latest initiatives which are happening in the current project where we are working in, and this is Skills for EASE. The idea of the project of Skills for EASE is to actually address some of the strategic areas where the European Union and the European Commission are working lately. And it's kind of aligning with what we are missing also on our national level, such as the clear definition of data professional profiles and corresponding career paths, or open data, open training resources, and similar. Some of the things that might be of interest to you is the definition of these different types of profiles that are currently missing in many of our faculties and universities, such as, for an example, scholarly publication professional or a data steward. So inside this project, we have defined these profiles, and I will share the link with you later so that you can see how these profiles look like. And we need to work in the next years to provide formal and informal training to develop these profiles in our country. And this can be done by actually reusing the training that is already developed inside this project. The other thing which is of very high importance for us is the competence center and network. The idea in Skills for EASE is to create a network of different competence centers that will share the competences, the people, the services, the resources, and the best practices, and help the idea and the implementation of open science and open access grow across the countries in Europe. Currently at the university, we are putting efforts in establishing our own open science competence center that will then become part of this network. And we hope that in this way we can focus all of our actions towards open science and open access. With this, I would thank you a lot for your attention and for the time, and I want to apologize for the technical problems in the beginning.
Thank you very much, Sonja. You explained the biggest or big part of the open access at University of Cyril and Methodius in our country. And now, according to the plan, I think I should present my lecture. I will explain in few words about the Macedonian Regional Chapter of European Association of Scientific Editors, first part, and the second part I will show you in very short time the Macedonian scientific journals using Open Journal System platform. We established the Macedonian Regional Chapter this year in June 10th, and we intend to strengthen cooperation between scientific editors from our country to convey the key values of European Association in the daily work of scientific journals, to apply standard identifiers in scholarly publishing, and to increase inclusion and indexation of Macedonian scientific journals in databases such Web of Science, Scopus, Directory of Open Access Journals, Siendo, and so on. The goals of our regional chapter are to promote collaboration among our members and organize training activities for editors and authors in our country. Specifically, we aim to promote the goals and activities of European Association, to promote collaboration of Macedonian members with members from other countries, to give support to editors of Macedonian scientific journals, to organize an annual conference, an open science and open access, to translate some European Association key resources to support our community, and to organize webinars and workshops on topics of interest. Macedonia chapter will be led by a small group of editors of Macedonian journals, and we decided at the beginning to start with small group of members at that time. Here are the names: Mirko Spiroski, Jovan Jonovski, Slavica Hristomanova Mitkovska, Vulneta Meti, and Vladimir Trajkovski, and me. And I hope this group will grow in the future. At the moment, there is collective memberships of Cyril and Methodius University of Skopje with 26 members. Also, there are collective members of University Gecevska from Štip with 19 members. Members of our scientific foundation is composed of 3 members, and individual members are 3 at the moment. Total members of European Association of Scientific Editors at the moment are 51 members. But if we are looking how the members are presented on the website, we will see that we have only 28 profiles defined on the website, and the complete profiles are only half of them, meaning 14. So we have to work in the future to complete our profiles on the website for our international recognition and mutual recognition and cooperation in our country. In the second part, I will show you several slides about the open journal systems. As you know, open journal systems offer almost everything we need for scholarly journal publishing. We can arrange submission, reviewing, publishing, and distribution of our journals entirely with this system, and because of that, this system became very important and very widely accepted platform in the world. I asked for data about the OJS platform used in our journals, and we found that at 2020 year, 14 journals were included with Open Journal Systems platform. The next years it was 45, and the previous year it is with 44 journals according the data which is deposited in the database of the users of Open Journal System. In our country, there are two ways of organization of OJS platform, namely, several portals are organized, 3 of them, and single Open Journal System platforms are used. As you can see, the University Cyril and Methodius portal in this database is recognized with 5 journals in spite of the 15 which are now really present. Also, the University Gecevska has portal with 21 journals, and in our scientific foundation, we are 2 journals. The rest of the journals, 31 journals, are using single OJS platform. In the database of the users of OJS, there are from Macedonia 59 journals using Open Journal System. But the number of papers deposited in OJS platform in our country is given in this picture, and we can see that more than 3,000 papers were published in 2020. The number in 2022 was the biggest, with 7,287 papers. The previous year was with a smaller number, and the total number of the published papers in OJS platform from the Republic of Macedonia from the beginning till the end of the previous year is 30,966, which is very important number of users and publications from our republic. We have 3 portals, as it was shown. Portal of the University Cyril and Methodius with 5 journals in this database, which is obsolete. The University of Gecevska publishing system has 21 journals with different structure. And in our scientific foundation, there are 2 journals which are published and 1 co-published journal. We are also supporter of open access in databases in the world, as well as supporter of OJS implementation in our republic. In conclusion, there are 59 journals in Republic of Macedonia using Open Journal Systems platform. There are 3 OJS portals. The possibility of OJS are not maximally performed by scientific journals, and we have to talk in the future about that. There is urgent need more Macedonian scientific journals to migrate into OJS because other platforms are not so, how to say, easy defined to use all the possibilities of the open journal publications, and close cooperation between scientific journals and platforms which are using needed. I would like to acknowledge to Valentina Gecevska, Ljiljana Koleva-Gudeva, to Mary Hodgson, and to Maria Nejstorovskaya, who allow the preparation of this short presentation. And thank you very much for your attention.
Please go ahead, Vladimir, and share your screen.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary. Let me before I start to say special greetings to all around 40 participants. Especially, I would like to say warm greetings to our Vice Rector, Professor Gecevska, the Dean of the Faculty of Philosophy, Professor Bakrevski, and the Chair of EASE Macedonian Chapter, Professor Spiroski, and also to you, Madam Hodgson, Secretary of EASE European Association of Science Editors. I am really glad to see that there are also members from Ukraine, Croatia, Baltic countries, I think from Serbia, and thank you for your attention. I decided to talk a little bit about scientific journals on OJS platform. On the Faculty of Philosophy, we have around 13 years experience with this, and around 15 years experience with open access journals, especially I have experience with the journal Special Education and Rehabilitation, before that on Joomla, but I will talk later. The Joomla and WordPress are not platforms for journals. Really good. But at that time, probably Professor Spiroski with his Macedonian Journal of Medical Sciences was the first one, but not on the OJS. And on the OJS, first was a Journal for Chemical Engineering, I think so. And we were the second journal in Macedonia who started with OJS. For Macedonian colleagues and my students also who are now, and younger colleagues, I would say on the first slides a little bit about Open Journal System. It is a source publishing software released by PKP, which enables publication of scientific journals for almost for free. It was created in 2001, and OJS is written in PHP program, and it could be installed on Unix or Windows Server. PKP means Public Knowledge Project, founded in 1998, and it is not only platform for journal system. They have open conference system, open harvester system, open monograph press, open preprint system. OJS is designed specifically to assist researchers and faculty in publishing peer-review open access journals, and OJS supports the management of the journal through multiple stages, from submission of papers through peer review, editorial processes, and to final publication of each issue. It is suggested for open access journals, and this is the interface of homepage. You can see here how to hosting and install OJS program, how to upgrade it, OJS customization, OJS support, and it is really user-friendly for the editors. What is the goal? Someone probably will ask of OJS. It is a management and publishing system designed to assist faculty researchers in the process of paper submission through the final publication. Why do we need OJS? It is easily detected by search engines. It was mentioned by previous lecturers. It is very difficult to be one of the last presenters, because some of the thoughts you want to mention, they were mentioned before, but I will skip that one. Metadata are linked by Crossref and Directory of Open Access Journals. It is free downloadable software, and OJS is different from other web-based journals, such as Joomla-based WordPress platforms, which are originally not make platforms for the journals. But 15 years ago, we were younger. We don't have enough information about OJS, and also OJS starts in those years between 2000s, early 2000s, middle of 2000s. Now I'm going to the next slide. What are the features of OJS? OJS can be installed locally and controlled locally. Editors configure requirements, sections, review process, online submissions, and management of all contents, submission model with late open access options, comprehensive indexing of content as a part of a global system. Also email notification and possibility for readers to comment, fully context-sensitive online help support, and etc. What are the flexibility of OJS? Supports non-peer review publications, but I will not prefer non-peer review publication, especially professional news and technical reports. It can also support subscription journals. A number of individuals may be involved in a variety of roles. Advantages, it can go with quick publication, widely available, smaller budget for managing the journal, good citation index. It increased the visibility of papers in the journal. And one of our goals at the university, as our vice rector mentioned before, is to increase the visibility of scientific papers. Avoids paying subscriptions and access restrictions from commercial publishers. It ensures long-term management and availability. It reaches readers outside the journal's core discipline. Send feedback, and the content is optimized, as was mentioned before by Professor Stojanovski from Croatia, Google Search, Google Scholar, other internet searching engines, and libraries. There are a lot of roles in open journal system: journal manager, editor role, section editor, subscription manager, additional roles, etc. I will not go into details. Here you are listed the main roles: layout editors, reviewers, copy editors, proofreaders. They are all in the same platform and very user-friendly. Now I will go to the open journal system to make a little overview and some little criticism, because I will, in the conclusion, you will see we have, instead of progress, we have a little regress. We started in 2012, Faculty of Philosophy Digital Library Project, and with own funds, included 5 journals: Journal of Special Education and Rehabilitation, which was led by me, Security Dialogues, Sociological Review, Review of Social Policy, and Macedonian Historical Review. Here are the home pages of the journal. Unfortunately, the Journal of Special Education and Rehabilitation doesn't publish since 2019. There is discontinuity in the periodicity of the journal. Some Macedonian Historical Review also go down. This was the homepage of the Faculty of Philosophy Digital Library, and it was really secure registration of the authors, reviewers, with username and password. This slide shows how looks table of contents of Journal of Special and Rehabilitation. The submitting an article, it is very easy. You should, for example, submit the main text article, cover page, cover letter, or some additional documents, and then submission checklist, journal privacy statements, etc. Review process in the journals which I lead always was double-blinded review process. Also good collaboration with technical editing, layout editing, and proofreading, and we need more experienced IT in this field. And what are the problems now? I want to stress your attention. After the replacement of vice deans of the faculty, the owner of the IT company that built the digital platform withdrew from the project and did not give further access to the database. In my opinion, such things must not happen, and the work of the OJS platform and journals must not depend on the willingness of one individual. Not having enough IT colleagues interested in academic publishing who demand huge royalties for publishing, it's a single issue. Now, in 2024, we have 3 journals in OJS on the UKIM platform. It is Security Dialogues, Review for Journal of Social Policy, and the annual of the Faculty of Philosophy, which was the 3 issues were deposed by myself, 3 last issues. This slide shows that Faculty of Philosophy has 12 journals, but they're on this link. periodica.zf.ukim.edu.mk. These are the cover pages of all 12 journals. Some of them are not really active at this moment, but this is one of, I will tell you in the conclusions that management of faculties and the rectorate should take some steps. Possible weakness about OJS, fear that editors will lose print and membership revenue. The journals become open access. Lack of IT infrastructure or financial resources, lack of financial support of deans and rectors' offices and Ministry of Education and Science as well. Other obstacles include uncertainty around copyright and the lack of management and technical support. And I'm going to conclusions. We should increase awareness about open access and using OJS in Macedonia. It is necessary to increase the number of journals that will use OJS on Faculty of Philosophy and in Macedonia as well. We saw the numbers which Professor Spiroski mentioned before me. Increasing financial support to journals by Ministry of Education and Science, UKIM, and faculties managements. With a well-defined workflow and easy-to-use functionality, open access journals can easily be set up for use in OJS. It can attract a lot of non-English speaking people to the internet. No progress, unfortunately. This is one of my main points. No progress of academic publishing on faculty journals on the Faculty of Philosophy in the last 13 years. Instead of progress, we had a little regress, and more and more journals with open access in OJS there are, the more the visibility of Macedonian research will increase. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that I was not longer than 15 minutes, which was proposed in the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vladimir, for your objective and a little bit critical, but it is necessary to be critical in order to increase the quality of the publishing. And now I'm giving the floor to Ivo Spiroski. Ivo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor Spiroski. Just a moment. Today, I'm gonna briefly introduce you to Sherpa Romeo Open Access Policy Registry. So Sherpa Romeo is an online service that aggregates and presents open access policies for publishers and open access journals. It is widely used by researchers, repository staff, and research support teams. Immediately when we open Sherpa Romeo website, we can see that they have a search which can be done by journal title or ISSN number. It can be done search by publisher name, and it can be browsed by country or browsed by publisher. Also, we can see on the website the key informations that include contact about Sherpa Romeo, inclusion criteria, linking to specific records, reusing Sherpa Romeo data, API access, publisher, policy icons, glossary, and Romeo colors. When we talk about inclusion criteria, Sherpa Romeo have several rules, which are the following. Journals must have a valid ISSN number listed on their website, and it has to be registered in the ISSN portal. Each website must clearly state its editorial board or licenses, and open access policies and copyright statements must be readily available online. And your open access policy should include at least one way in which the article can be made open access. For the publishers, the rules are: contact details must be readily available, and publication ethic policies must be clearly stated on the website. And I should say Sherpa Romeo prefers Skopje guidelines. So how to read publisher policies? We should know that Sherpa Romeo represents the complex aspects of publishers' policies with icons. Publishers' policies are represented in pathways. The pathways show open access options, which can be one or more than one, and the properties with pathways are presented by icons also. These are the icons that Sherpa Romeo uses. We can see the prerequisites, open access fees, open access publishing, embargo, location, licenses, and etc. Now, how can we read a publisher policy? Each version of an article contains one or more pathways through which the article can be made open access. We can see that for the accepted version, there are two existing pathways, pathway A and pathway B. The difference is in the embargo. In pathway A is 12 months, and in pathway B is 2 years. Also, there are other differences in the license, location, and etc. Now, if we search a journal, which we are interested, we can see that the publisher policies are summarized. If we click on the icon, we can see immediately the meaning of the icon and description. And if we collapse one of the sections, for example, for published version A, we can see further information that the pathway has an open access fee, it has no embargo, the deposit is in PubMed Central, and etc. How can we include our journal in Sherpa Romeo? If we go to the contact link, scroll down and click on the adding new publication and click on the complete new record form, we will be greeted by a link that says submit new journal request for a publisher already listed in Sherpa Romeo. But if we click down, submit new record for a publisher not already listed in the Sherpa Romeo, now we will have another web page, and we can proceed to complete the inclusion form. The integration in Sherpa Romeo registry is important because the other scientific databases, such as DOAJ, DSpace, Zotero, and etc., require the open access journals to be registered in Sherpa Romeo. And now we can see the number of journals included in Sherpa Romeo from the former Yugoslav republics and some neighbors. And we can see that Kosovo has 1, Macedonia has 23 journals included, and Serbia has 120. If we look the percentage of journals included in Sherpa Romeo from our country, we can see that from all the journals that are open access, 59, only 23 are included in a Sherpa Romeo journal, which means in percent, only 39% are registered in Sherpa and Sherpa Romeo, and 61% are unregistered. Now, these are all of the journals registered in Sherpa Romeo, and the two of them with the red letters need to be updated because the data is obsolete. And in a conclusion, we can see that a smaller number of open journal systems from the Republic of North Macedonia are included in Sherpa Romeo, and which have open access policy that are 39%. The rest of the scientific journals, 61%, should define open access policy and register in Sherpa Romeo because included scientific journals in Sherpa Romeo have significantly bigger chances to be included in .ij, and other indexed databases. Thank you.
Ivo, thank you very much for your presentation. According to the schedule, we are now opening the discussion. We have time, and we can discuss about the presentations or generally about the open access as a policy and the, I would say, philosophy in scientific publishing. Who would like to start the discussion?
Mirko, I think you might want to discuss a little amongst yourselves for a moment, because as people would like to, as people in the audience would like to raise their hands, I'll enable their microphones and cameras.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank all lecturers because they accepted to share part of their time to present the several aspects of the open access journal publishing in general, especially in our country. I would like to thank also Mary for support from the very beginning till now, and I hope we will continue in the future. And I think the open access is very, how to say, ambiguous philosophy and treatment in the societies, especially in our society. Because in spite of the many clear definitions, activities, and other attempts to clarify, there are a lot of problems for the use of open access. For example, let me take the example of the Faculty of Philosophy. We had in the past very, very successful start of the use of open journal system platforms. We organized several meetings together with Vladimir and with National Library in Skopje about the affirmation of the principles and problems about open access. And the result was discontinuation of this effort, which are complex. And I would say there is no one, how to say, simple to blame, but the society as a whole. The other part of the problem is the treatment of open access publishing. In some heads, it means without any financial or other obligation. It is open in two ways, but it is not. The open access is only the use of the data in open access policy system, but the creation of the website, of the software, of the journals, and everything else costs money. So it is not without money. The second question is, the third question is that in the later years, in open access publishing, we have different models, and different models are between themselves somehow opposite. For example, Diamond model is one example where the authors shouldn't pay for their publication, but it is not that nobody should pay, because in this way it is not possible to arrange sustainability of the publication. Also, there is a lot of there are a lot of problems with the predator journals, which are very easily performed with open journal systems and open journals as a whole. So there are many other problems which are included in this very big field of scientific publishing. And as I know, in our country, we have a lot of efforts, but the final result is not as we would like to be. So I would ask somebody to discuss in these fields or something else connected with the open access publishing.
Go ahead, Jadranka.
Thank you, Mary. So, what I would like to say that I'm really impressed with the amount of work done in Macedonia, and I'm impressed with the fact how establishing this EASE chapter can somehow put together the community, the active part of the community in doing something really useful for the whole community, not only for them. And I'm really supportive towards approach which is taken to use open source infrastructure to somehow stick to the open science principles, stick to the diamond model, and this is really nice to see. What it's somehow the common problem in our countries. For example, in Croatia, what we have that our infrastructure is quite centralized, which has some benefits when we are speaking about resources, especially financial resources and sustainability, long-term sustainability, but it has also some disadvantages. So what maybe could be useful in Macedonia is, for example, to establish the one platform for open journal system, which will host all journals and which will be updated regularly, supported by Ministry of Education and Science, and that will somehow foster the work which is which could benefit to all journals which are willing to use open journal systems. So in Croatia, we have this central installation of open journal system, which is maintained by our Computing University Center, Srce, and of course, editors are complaining that it's not regularly updated, etc. But it's still a strong impetus to towards decision for different journals, still using emails for submission and such kind of things to really migrate to some good editorial management platforms. So at the moment we have about 80 journals, 80 Croatian journals using this central OGS platform. We still have some separate installations of OGS among other institutions, and what we have also is separate installations of open monograph press, which are encouraging development of open access books in Croatia. Yes, so I'm really keeping my fingers crossed to your future development, and I strongly believe that you are on the right path, and I will be really glad to look how things will be in the future in Macedonia. Thank you.
Thank you, Jadranka. I hope we will succeed to be more efficient and to increase the quality of the open access publishing in Macedonia. Anybody else?
Go ahead, Sonja.
Thank you. Well, I can only add to what Jadranka said. I mean, we need to learn from best practices from other countries, especially in the region, because we are sometimes in very common situations. As Professor Spiroski already mentioned, I mean, sustainability is one of the pain points for everyone. And when we talk about sustainability, it's important to take it from at least two different aspects. One is the technical part, and the other one is the human capital. For the technical part, yes, okay, we have the open source OGS, and if we learn from Croatia, we already have this instance where multiple journals are in the same OGS and everything. But don't forget the main problem here is more the human capital, because you will install the instance, but someone needs to take care of it, manage it, update it, right? Then you need people to take care of the submissions, the editorial board and everything. And the problem, as the professor already mentioned, is that when you say open access, somehow everybody thinks that this whole thing is happening for free, nobody is getting anything, and it's magically working in the background. At our faculty, we tried to support all of the actions as much as possible and financially recompensate people using projects and everything that we can in the background. But given the state that the Ministry of Science at the moment is not backing us up financially in any way, we need to be very innovative on how we are going to do this on the long term and what we can do about it. So unfortunately, I don't have any straight answer to give you. I can only tell you from contacts with other countries in the EU even, many are struggling with these issues, and the diamond open access idea is still not clear on the level of EU how it's going to be financially sustainable. So let's try and do our best and not give up. This is the thing I can say. Thank you.
Can we take Goran's comment next? Goran, would you like to go ahead? Oh, here we go. Go ahead, Goran.
Hey, do you hear me?
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. At first, I want to congratulate to Professor Spiroski, to the whole team of this community, which is pioneering step towards improvement of Macedonian open access publishing. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jadranka, for your statements and supportive words. And also, I must stress several things. We will agree on all of them. At first, I am academic publisher, maybe 10 years with experience. I have experience with these kind of activities as you all. In this event, I must stress several things. At first, the problematic is the sustainability of our journals. That is a solved question, absolutely. But I cannot hope that the only solution for this problem is the government or the state. Because 2 years ago, I was in quotation marks, accredited by Elsevier to advocate our public university's subscription to Elsevier. And I have several meetings with two ministers of higher education and science in Macedonia, and none of them was interested to pay a subscription, for example, to Elsevier. I asked the minister to pay for 6 public universities in Macedonia to have access to Elsevier products. Why this issue matters? Because we all know, and we must be honest, that this is a business as usual. Nothing is so connected to the quality of science, but also business, because I have a big experience with, for example, with Elsevier and Scopus, and they are interested in money. to be brutal and to be honest. Also, our government is not interested in this step, and they do not have any intention to pay for Macedonia subscription. I know that our government pays for EBSCO, for example, subscription, and my university, Kliment Ohridski from Bitola, is also co-finance our access to EBSCO products. It is okay, but not for Elsevier and not for Clarivate. Also, the problem is that our government, I don't want to speak about the state and the government because I think that these issues should be resolved on an academic level, not on a governmental level, but okay, I acknowledge the current situation. The government is not ready, for example, to create a national bureau, national agency, or national body which will manage the issues with the journals. Also, in Macedonia, there is a big fixation on the political elite level for Scopus and Web of Science, and they now will enter into the law on higher education changes, where they will again include the Scopus and Web of Science as a primary databases for career development in higher education. But the government is not interested to pay a subscription to both indexes. Also, there is no any strategy in Macedonia for the meaning of support for national journals which are internationally renowned. All of your journals are internationally acknowledged and recognized, but they are not recognized by our country, by our government. So I think that we should use this initiative, this small community now, and to communicate with the current Ministry of Education in order to be consulted as an association during the process of change of the law on higher education and law on scientific research. So we should impose our influence, our knowledge, and our experience to the legislators and to be a part of some team during the changes of the mentioned laws. Also, I will finish now. We need to talk about the challenges of indexation in Elsevier and Clarivate and their attitude toward journals which are based or which are published by Macedonian publishers, because I have information and also that we are second rank treatment because of the various reasons which mostly depends from our country. So we divide our destiny with our country as well. Okay, I think that I tackle some issues and some questions, and I do not want to bother you anymore. I am open for communication, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Goran. We have a lot of challenges. I shouldn't say problems, because if there are problems, we think they are not possible to be solved, but I think there are challenges. Is there anybody to add?
Yes. Please.
Vladimir?
Just briefly to finish probably this discussion, because we are here around 100 minutes. Just to thank you for all your comments. Just I agree with most of your comments and the discussions, but only to say opposite that here we are talking about open access, and Elsevier and Clarivate are opposite than open access. Very rarely they're open. So probably we don't need to mention them on the Open Access Week because open access is really has another philosophy than the Clarivate and Elsevier, who are business companies. That's the first one. I mentioned in my conclusions, but I will add a little bit something. The most important challenge is the financial support. The financial support in Macedonia and Croatia as well, Serbia and other countries, financial support by the government, by the Rectorate office, and by the Dean's office. Without that, we must know that open access is not gratis access. It costs so much money, and probably it is gratis for the authors, but it is not gratis for the editorial office. We must strengthen the editorial office because sometimes we have journals with one-man show or two people in editorial office who are responsible for that. One of the examples is my previous journal, who is almost died since I was stepped down in 2017. And it should not be like that. The sustainability must be put on a health basics and we need more and more devoted editors, editor-in-chiefs with younger colleagues. This job is really time-consuming, and you must be very, very devoted to this job as an editor if you like to have a success in the world of academic publishing. The next one is that point is that we need to be much more oriented to diamond open access, which is a real European, especially of the European Union, which is and we should know, we all know that we are not EU country, and probably because of that Croatia is a little bit in advantage of us in this field, but in my opinion, we should follow diamond open access, and I think that is the future of academic publishing. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. Do we have more questions or comments?
I would just shortly, I put in the chat Professor Spiroski information about our regional webinar we are organizing on OGS, which could be very relevant for Macedonian publishing community. So if you have some time on 30th of October, you will find on the link all information, and it's of course free for everyone. You are welcome to join us and to discuss about OGS.
Okay, thank you very much. We will inform our editors.
You just have a query from Jovan. Go ahead, Jovan.
Hello. I just wanted to greet everyone and to say that it's a great moment with this first event we are having. And I hope it won't stay that way because most of the speakers were speaking about sustainability. So this is what we need. And I think the human, how to say, capital, as Sonja said, is the key in this. Because, okay, we do need resources, finances, and everything. But I think it has been proven that majority of the thing depends on the main character, I would say, on the person and of the editor that is doing this, because it's really sometimes it takes over humanly efforts to keep the journal running with all the challenges that are. especially if you, for example, I'm publishing a journal that is not a part of a university or something, so it's part of a citizens' assembly, and I understand how it is difficult to actually encourage the authors to write. You know, we are not part of any scientific institution, so this is not kind of a compulsory to have written articles. So it just double the effort of the editor. But I think that as we already concluded here, that willingness and the zeal, I would say, of the editors is the most important thing. Yes, I will finish here.
Okay, thank you very much, Jovan. Do we have any other comment or discussion?
I think we should end because we are a little over our time. So I think we should draw to a conclusion.
Okay, then I would like to thank you, the lecturers and the participants, which are very important for our regional chapter. And I think this is good beginning for being together to share the difficulties and to solve possible problems. And I think we will be active till the end of this year, at least with one conference and something else. And I hope that in the next year we will be more organized and more productive. Thank you very much again to all lecturers and followers on the conference. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, all. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much for everything. Bye.